Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. Well folks, it's finally the weekend. I'm finally off work and I'm finally able to make some content again. I've had a rough week at work. Haven't been able to make any content in the last few days. And I'm sorry about that. But let's talk about the new raids mechanic. That's what I want to focus on today. I want to talk about the new raids mechanic because I've been playing it off and on for the last couple days since it went into effect. And it's been different, for sure. It's been a lot different. I actually am going to have to say right off the bat that I am a fan of the new trophy acquisition system. I do like it. I like the way it feels, and I like the amount of effort it requires on my part to be able to stay up in the promotion zone. So I am digging it because I'm not really one of those people that want to spend 24 hours a day doing raids or spending thousands and thousands of gold to buy energy refills to stay in the top brackets. So I'm liking the way it's feeling right now. So anyway, I like it a lot. I think it's a big improvement because it feels a lot different than having to spend lots and lots of gold to stay up at the top end of the rankings. So, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So one of the things that's definitely changed is whenever you go to look for opponents, and my view is going to look a lot different than yours more than likely because you're looking at it on a mobile device. I'm looking at it on my computer on BlueStacks. So my raid brackets and stuff like that look a lot different from yours in case you're wondering why mine looks so weird. But when you go to the opponent search and you start to search for opponents, you're going to notice that at the beginning of the raid season, you're going to get a high amount of trophies, upwards of 100. I don't think I ever saw over 100. I think 100 is the max, but I may be wrong about that. I'm not really sure. So I don't think I ever saw any more than 100, but at the first of the season, whenever it starts, your first few matches, you're going to get some good trophy rates. Trying to find opponents that are close to your power level was what it was designed to do. I don't really know if it totally succeeded or not. The closer to your power level that you fight or the stronger than you that you fight are supposed to return more trophy rewards. Right now, I'm to the point that I have played in the season quite a bit already. It's got like 6 days in total, and we're already over halfway done with the season. And as you can see, I've went through, well, now it's starting to reset, but at one point I had every single person on my list beat, and I didn't have the option to go back and attack them again. But now it's starting to reset to where you get to the point that like after 2 days you get the opportunity to attack them again. And what you'll find is after you start the season, you'll find out that your trophy rewards are really good at first. Then as people start to fill into the bracket and start to move up the ranks of the trophy count, you're going to notice that your trophy rewards are going to go down. The people on your leaderboard are your best attack option, because what that does is that will give you the highest amount of trophies, and it will also give you the ability to hinder their progression and increase yours. So while you're beating them, you're also doing yourself a favor by keeping them down and pushing you up. So that's one of the things that has made this mechanic a lot more useful for attacking on your own bracket, your own board. You want to be continually attacking the people in your bracket. Now, trying to keep a certain power range of your attacks is not really as important in your own bracket as it is when you're searching for people on the opponent search. The people that are in your bracket, you want to hit them regardless of their power level just to keep them from creeping up on you. So like for me right now, a good target for me would be this number 2 guy because he's above me, and if I beat him, I'm going to get 54 trophies. If I lose to him, I'm going to lose 19. That's one of the other things that you're going to notice from this new raid mechanic versus the way it was first before this, before they changed it. You had a less of a hit on a defeat than you do now. And now you're going to really start to see that some of these battles can really hurt you bad if you lose. You can lose upwards of 30 to 40 trophies in some of them on the more higher stakes battles. So right now this guy's a lot lower power than me, but he is a higher place than me, so that's going to cause the trophy algorithm to raise the amount of reward that I get for beating him. So I'm going to go ahead and fight him, and I'm going to go ahead and take him down so that I can knock him down a little bit and raise myself up. Now, I don't know if I'll get enough from him to be able to actually move up into the number 2 spot or not. I'm not really that worried about that at this time. As long as I stay in the promotion zone, that's all I really care about. Now, you can see that I started in gold level 3. I was just a little bit lazy at the beginning of this season, and I wasn't able to push as far as I needed to be to start this new raid mechanic in gold 2. Ideally, I wanted to be in gold 2 because I think that's about where my sweet spot is now as far as how much effort is required versus the reward type of thing. I don't want to be that guy that has to play this constantly. Every time a point regenerates, I'm there to do it. I'm not going to be that guy because I have a life, but Gold 2, I think, is going to be my most comfortable rank because I've seen right now that Gold 3 is really not hard to stay at the top at all. I mean, I basically pushed yesterday 3 sets of energy refills and I was there, after not even playing for 2 days. So once you get to a certain point, it's easier for you to hold your rank just by doing some general maintenance every day. Like take your 6 attacks in the morning, check back at noon or so and do whatever you got, and then in the evening do 6 more. If you have time, during your day on break or whatever, do a couple real quick, and that'll be enough that will keep you up in the rankings. For this guy right here, you can see I got 54 trophies. He lost 29, which is a pretty big deal. That's a full battle right there. Now the rewards don't seem to be as good as silver and food. I'm just gonna say that is one of the things that I want to talk about later that has changed that I'm not really very thrilled about, but that's the rewards you see that I got for fighting that guy that was in second and I was in third. I didn't move up, I stayed in third, but that's okay because I got 54 trophies, and that's going to help me get closer to him. And now I've, got a victory on him, so I can't attack him again for 2 days. This guy right here, Be Nasty, I'm going to attack him next, and we'll see how that goes. He's got a pretty tough team. I almost lost to him the first time I attacked him, so I got to be careful with that guy. Even though he's at 432,000 power, he's got a really good synergy on his team going on, and let's hit him right now. Alright, so let's take on this Be Nasty dude. Watch him beat me. He has a pretty good team. It's kind of difficult to deal with these green teams. I'm serious. So, you know what? I'm going to back out of this because I don't want to lose any trophies right now, and this is a really sketchy match for me because even though his power is over 100,000 less than me, that team is just ridiculous. So I don't even want any part of that. So I'm going to move on down, and I'm going to fight this guy. Now, the last battle I had it on auto. That's one thing I want to talk about is auto versus manual control in this new system. Personally, I feel like if you're concerned with your raid ranking, you need to take control of these battles now because it's too dicey, and with the way that the trophy loss on a defeat is so much higher, I don't think it's smart for you to put it on auto and go make a sandwich or something while you're doing your PvP rankings. It's only 6 battles, so there's no reason why you can't just power through it real quick if you're serious about it. Auto is not a deal breaker for me. I'm not going to not do it if I can't do auto. I do like to do auto, and I will whenever the opponent is, it's a slam dunk. But I pay way more attention with the way the mechanics are now versus how they were before. So that tells you something right there. That tells you that the trophy loss on a defeat is so much more intense that if you lose a few, you're going to drop pretty far. So you need to really pay attention to what you're doing now. So that makes you pay more attention, and that makes it more critical to win, which can in turn feel better when you do win. So I guess that was kind of a good thing for them to develop as well in the system. More reward for actually competing. Now the rewards themselves have gotten a little worse though, and that's what I'm talking about, resources. I don't really feel like I'm getting nowhere near the amount of silver and food I used to, because used to I would go to the search and I would search targets until I got a good silver amount, and then I would just go ahead and take the battle no matter what the trophies were, because the trophies were on average around 30. Now it's changed, and you're not going to sit here and search forever and find the best silver and the best trophy. It just doesn't seem to match up that way. Yes, once in a while you will get a good one, and you can go ahead and take advantage of that, but it just doesn't seem like the raids mechanic is the place to go to search for resources anymore. And that kind of does suck, because going here and farming silver was one of the best things to do. And I don't know about you guys, but it always seems like they're targeting my silver. Every time we figure out a way to get some silver, it feels like they jump on it and cut the head off of it. And I think that's what they did right here. They're seeing a lot of us that make videos and stuff, and they're seeing the silver we're sourcing through these battles, and they've cut that down quite a bit, is how I feel. So I think that's what's going on with that. But now it's more important to fight off your leaderboard. One of the reasons why it's way more important for me to focus on my leaderboard right now is because of this right here. Brawn is the reward for this season, and I think that's a really good reward, because Brawn can be a key component in some dragon teams, and for green and red dragon he can be really, really good. Purple dragon or yellow dragon too, if you have a high enough level Brawn and a Tyrion combo, they can be a really good team together. So I think this is a really good reward. I'm personally going to strive to get to the gold 2 level so that I can take advantage of this right here a couple times in a row before they decide to change him. So I think that's kind of, where my head's at about these rewards. I think that Brawn is really good. So let's do a couple more battles, and we'll kind of see what the trophy rate is. So sorry, I got sidetracked. One of my guild mates was talking to me on Discord about one of our policies we're trying to enact on the dragons that we're currently hitting, because we're doing 10 skull dragons, but even still my guys are so powerful that the red dragon is just dying in like 5 minutes. So we're having to put in place some restrictions on how we hit the red dragon, so that everybody can get a chance to get their dailies and stuff, and have a chance to try to get to 3% before our big guys slaughter it. So yeah, that's always a thing. But anyway, let's do a couple matches and let's earn some trophies and see kind of what we get. See, this one right here is on my leaderboard. He is close to my ranking, and he's going to give me 37 trophies. He's, lower might than me, obviously. So 37 at the point that I'm at is kind of where it's leveled out at this stage in the ranking. So a good return for me is 37 at this point, so I'm not going to complain about that, and I'm going to go ahead and just take it. You're not going to, once you get into the rankings for about 3 days or 4 days, that's when it starts to kind of settle out, and everybody kind of starts to shake out where they're going to be. That's when you'll start to see the trophy rewards go down quite a bit at that point, because everybody's starting to get themselves positioned in their rankings. you can't really make a big amount of trophies unless you hit somebody above you or with a lot more power than you. I think the reward is calculated off of the power of the opponent versus yours and the amount of trophies that they have. If you hit somebody with a lot more trophies than you, you're going to get a better reward. That's just the way the system works. So it's designed to entice you to always try to punch up instead of trying to bottom feed, because the way the mechanic was the last time we did raids last season, it encouraged bottom feeding, which is what I call bottom feeding, where you just constantly attack weaker opponents over and over, and you're not really looking for a challenge. You're just spamming out trophies in your battles because the battles averaged out to a certain amount anyway, so why fight somebody hard when you could get the same result from somebody easy? So that was what encouraged bottom feeding. But now, with the mechanics set up in place that it is, you can attack somebody higher power and higher trophy count than you and get a lot better reward. Right now, I'm just hitting everybody that's in my bracket, except for that one guy up top. I don't feel like messing with him and losing my trophies. Greens are super tough on raids, man. They own raids, they own events, they own dragons. Greens are just ridiculously overpowered, and they need nerfed. Even though I have a green team I'm working on, I still want to see them be nerfed because it's just bad for the game at the point that we're at. The game is suffering really badly because of the power of the green teams. It's just ridiculous. And a lot of people say, Miranda, shut up. Don't talk about my greens. Because I know a lot of you guys have spent a lot of money on them dudes. I get it. I'm facing you and I'm feeling it. You're kicking my teeth in, and it's getting old, man. Because I'm better than this, dang it. And I'm getting my butt handed to me over and over again. So, yeah, it's time for a change. I think the Greens have pretty much owned everything for long enough, so I hope the developers make a decision soon. Whether or not it's going to be the health of the game or profits is what's going to drive the direction of the meta. More than likely will be profits, but, I mean, that's just how it is. That's how the world works. Money makes the world go round, so if that's what choice they choose, it won't surprise me, really. But me as a player, I'm hoping for more attention paid to balance. Because, like I said, the game feels awkward right now. So let's beat this guy. Let's take his trophies. So I got 36 on that. They did lose 11. I would have probably lost about 20-something had I lost that match. I would have had a lot bigger rate of loss than they did. Where am I at? I'm at 3,887. This guy's well above me by over 1,000. This guy's a few hundred away. And then I got people creeping up on me from the below ranks in the remaining zone. The top guy in the remaining zone is 400 or so away from me. So, I need to keep on fighting to retain my rank. It's a lot easier once you're about 3 or 4 days in. You kind of get solidified into a place. And as long as you continue to do your targets every so often, multiple times per day, it seems like you'll keep your rank. Now, with this being 2 days and some change away from the end of the season, I think that's where we're going to really start to see people making a push. Because right now people are just kind of doing the bare minimum to survive and keep their rankings somewhere around the remaining zone. And then they're going to try to make their push at the end. And I think that's what we're still going to see. That's kind of the mentality that plagued the raids mechanic before as well. Of course, you would always have your few that would just constantly attack and stay up there, but it always seemed like a couple days towards the end, that's where everybody started making their big push, and I think that's just the battle in general. Okay, so I'm out of energy, so I'm not going to take another hit, but you can see this guy's 292,000, and he's going to give me 34. That's about an average return. I can't really understand why the power is not reflected in the trophy return more. For that power level versus my power level, I would have kind of thought that the trophy reward would have been just a little bit less, more like a 28 or a 27, but whatever, I'll take it because it'll have a little bit better than average silver. So the next time I actually get an energy, I'm going to come back in the battle and I'm going to fight that guy. So I'll just leave him right there on my search screen so that when I pull it back up, he'll still be my first choice of target. So this is where I'm at right now. 2 days and 17 hours left in this season. I'm in gold 3, but I am going to move up to gold 2. So gold 2 will be these rewards right here. So this is what I'll be getting for my rewards at the end of the season, unless something happens and I just don't fight anymore and I get kicked out of the remaining zone. But I'm going to really try to stay there because I want to go to gold 2 and stay there. Ideally gold 1, 15 shards, that'd be great, but I just don't have it in me to be that sweaty of a tryhard to stay there, so I'm going to focus my efforts on gold 2. And I can't get it to go back to gold 2 for some reason. There we go. So I'm going to stay there and try to hang out until we see who the next reward is. I'm going to continue to try to stay in gold 2 and collect those bronze shards. I don't know who's the next reward. I haven't heard anything on that yet. I'll have to check into that and see if I can get that information for you guys, and we'll leak it and talk about who the next reward's going to be. But for right now, it's Braun, and that's good enough for me because he's somebody I want, actually. So I'm in third place right now with 3,900 trophies. I've seen worse brackets, so I'm not going to complain about this bracket that I'm in because I don't seem to be in a bracket with too many top 100 people. I think they're a little bit farther up because they didn't sleep on it like I did so much, so I don't see any named alliance people that look like they'd be a problem at all, really. So I got this bracket totally. So anyway, we'll check back in a couple of days at the end and we'll see how it goes, and we'll talk about my final thoughts after I've tested the mechanics all the way through the end of a season. It'll be interesting to see how these next 2 days play out for sure. So thank you for watching my content. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you spending your time watching, and if this content's entertained you or taught you anything or just, been fun, let me know in the comments. Tell me what I did wrong, what I did right. Let's talk about stuff. Let's interact together so that we can talk about the mechanics. Put your comments in there, and I'm interested to see what you have to say. So I'll talk to you later, and I hope you have fun in Game of Thrones Legends. Peace.